Trinamool Congress MP Prasun Banerjee has landed himself in quite a controversy for his recent remarks. The TMC Lok Sabha candidate from Malda North Seat has issued a warning to Central Forces and the Election Commission. During his rally in Malda, he asked the BSF and the paramilitary forces to stay within the law. He said that if the paramilitary forces try to intimidate, Prasun Banerjee will be there. Further stating that the Election Commission officials should be respected, he stated, and I quote, "Just say Prasun Banerjee has come to play." God only knows what that means. He further stated that the game is on. These remarks have come just a day after the Election Commission of India issued a stern warning to all political parties, asking them to keep the elections free and fair and also away from any type of violence. The Election Commission was very clear when it said that there is no place for violence in India's politics. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has warned against the use of muscle power in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. Bengal has witnessed violence, remember, during and after polls in the past as well. Last year, violent clashes erupted between various workers of TMC, BJP, Congress and the CPIM during the Panchayat elections. During the 2019 Lok Sabha polls, around 693 cases of violence were reported from West Bengal. Even during the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, as many as 825 cases of violence were reported and more than 700 people were injured. So while the numbers, and in a large way, thanks to the Election Commission and our security forces, have come down, it now remains to be seen what really will be the tally for West Bengal this time around, which will be witnessing elections in several phases because of its past of political violence. But what does the TMC Neta really mean? We take this conversation forward. I have with me Dr. Shatrupa Ghosh of the BJP, Piyush Pant, senior journalist, also with us, Manasvi Thapar, also with us on the broadcast, and we were hoping to get a voice of the TMC as well, who can perhaps explain what the minister means, but we will continue to try to rope in that voice from the TMC. Let me begin this conversation, if I can, with Mr. Piyush Pant, senior journalist with us. Mr. Pant, West Bengal does have, sir, for many years now, it's not in the recent past, many decades of troubling history of political violence. And it's not just petty scuffles that, say, party workers or party leaders of two political parties engage in some sort of a petty scuffle or clash ahead of the polls, during rallies or even during the countings. It is a very serious past of political violence which involves murders of political party workers from all parties involved, and most parties of course continue to blame one another for the same. No one really wants to, it seems, take accountability and responsibility for the past of West Bengal. So just a day after the Election Commission has made an appeal, a request to political parties that let's keep our elections free from any violence, you have one of the TMC candidates coming in and saying that the Election Commission must be within its limits as well, the BSF must stay within its limits. What does that even mean? These are all law enforcing agencies. When we ask them to stay within the limit and when we allege intimidation by these agencies, what is he really trying to say, as per you?
Well, Devika, this is to be deplored, because highly deplorable such statements are issued by politicians or the candidates, because you cannot cast aspersion on the election commission, the constitutional body, and the security forces which are posted there to look after the law and order situation. So without actually something going wrong on their part, alleging and threatening them is highly deplorable and should not be done. This is what I feel. But you see, over the years, you know, the political culture has totally changed, and the sense of discipline, sense of accountability has been completely lost. and that is true of all the political parties, and particularly in the in the context of West Bengal, because in West Bengal is a highly charged, electoral battle. We witness highly charged electoral battle in Bengal, because there always, when left was there, so the battle was to sustain their control over the government, or to be in the government for the coming years, and to capture the power by the opposition. And one thing more, because in West Bengal, and we also see in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, there has been very much politicization of the, some extent politicization of. We have been seeing this in recent times of the bureaucracy of the police force. This particular person who has issued the threat was an IPS officer, and he quit and joined TMC to fight the election. So this is highly deplorable, because a person who was in the police force, and he was supposed to maintain law and order and calm down the temper, or public temper, is himself giving such threat. So this shows complete breakdown of the sense of morality, sense of accountability, and sense of responsibility by the supposed public figures. But what I feel that even in West Bengal, actually what has been, because we witness so much violence, because the cadre, the cadre that has been totally, in a sense, have been taught to fight the battle. It's like a battle on a battlefield, not an electoral battle, but a battle to capture the power, for which everything can be adopted, every good or bad means can be adopted. Even violence is justified on that count. I think this has been shifted, and the cadre is continuously keep on shifting from left to the Trinamool, some from Trinamool to BJP cadre. That's why we witness so much violence in West Bengal. Nothing can be justified, because if you condemn, if you threaten constitutional body, and without any justified ground, it is to be condemned highly. I think everybody should condemn it. But one thing I would again point it out, because what is happening, there's this sense of accountability which I was talking about, has been completely lost, because we have been witnessing, particularly during the election campaigning, that statements are issued naming the persons, naming the people, naming the political leaders, without having any sense of responsibility, or any sense of ethical responsibility. So even, if you remember, even why this kind of statements come from people who are fighting the election, or the seasoned politicians, because a culture has been developed by the politicians, where they feel they are in power, they can say anything, they can do anything. If you remember, I remember the statement made by our Honorable Home Minister during assembly election.
Yes.
In Madhya Pradesh. He said कि अगर आपने ठीक से काम नहीं किया तो उल्टा लटका दिया जाएगा. This kind of threat, if Home Minister gives, so it gives a very bad impression. It gives very bad sense that other people's get encouraged to issue such a statement. So
Absolutely.
Everybody should adopt discipline, should follow the discipline, and be highly responsible while issuing statements, particularly if it is regarding some political leader of the other party, opposition parties, or the ruling party, or some democratic institutions.
Absolutely.
I think it is highly deplorable, and everybody should condemn it.
I'll come back to you, Mr. Pant, in just a moment. Manasvi Thapar also with us on the broadcast. Manasvi, what do you think was meant by the TMC candidate when he says that if the Election Commission or the forces try to intimidate, I'm there, main hoon na? I mean, why is it that this sort of politics is still popular in West Bengal? every election season, be it the Lok Sabha or even the state assembly elections, we end up discussing violence in West Bengal. It's surprising that the people of the state or even the political parties in the state themselves, it seems, don't want to clean up the image of West Bengal, which has been marred by decades of political violence. It's not just, and I was discussing with Mr. Pant earlier as well, this is not just petty scuffles between political parties you're talking about. You're talking about murders, you're talking about grievous injuries, you're talking about high-level drama between political parties taking place. And now you have the Election Commission, which is the superior authority of India, making it very clear that we want violence-free elections. And yes, the numbers have come down, but why can't the number just be zero?
I think the greatest validation such politicians get is that there are two validations. One validation comes from the political parties. They don't take any action on them. And second validation comes from the voters. And voters vote for these people continuously. So the validation is this way, that they get said, if we speak these language, if we are a strong muscled people in our constituency, we are gathering votes. One, political parties need these kind of people. So because these are the people who get voted in. So after independence, what we have seen is the largest amount of people with criminal background or having criminal cases are in the current batch of our politicians. So what does this tell us all about is that people are okay to vote for such people. Political parties are secondary. So why would they select these people? Is because we as voters have adjusted with these kind of politicians making such statements, and this is a norm. So what happens in the larger perspective of things is that in the democracy of our country, every day is a new law. So once we overcome this, there's something new law which is going to come out from any political party, from any region of this country, and we are okay with it. Until we mature as the democracy, until we mature as voters, we have to put our foot down and we have to condemn it at all and at all points. It is not about TMC, BJP or Congress. Any politician at any juncture of their life makes such horrible statement has to be condemned. We cannot take it as a pinch of salt. Chalta hai. That chalta hua attitude in politics should not be there. On the contrary, setting examples on that what kind of politicians would we want? What kind of politicians would the youth should admire? These are not the kind of people which we would want. We would want someone who loves their country, are ethical, are good in their language, well-mannered. These are the kind of qualities a person should have. What qualities right now people have? They should be corrupt. They should have the muscle power. And political parties are okay to give them tickets. Why are they okay? Is because people vote out of fear. People vote out of that. So what happens is the right kind of people don't have the confidence to stand. So the wrong kind of people have all the confidence to come out in open because no action is taken. So there has to be two actions on this. Three actions for my understanding. One, Election Commission should take an action against this person. Second, the voters should show him the true face that we will not tolerate such kind of language. Third, which should be the first action, that TMC should come out in open and condemn his speech, his language. That is how we should set the trend for the 2024 election and for the future of our country.
Absolutely. Manasvi, I'll bring you back in just a moment. Also with us, and I'd just like to point out that the TMC was supposed to be a part of this discussion, but at the last moment they've cancelled their presence. So and it's important for me to put that out there because we did try to reach out to them for an understanding as to if some sort of action will be now taken against this particular candidate, or if an apology will at least be issued by the party on his behalf for the words that he's used. But Dr. Shatrughan Ghosh, what is it that the BJP is doing this time around to ensure that there is no violence in West Bengal during the elections?
Devika, first and foremost, I'm not Ghosh, I'm only Dr. Shatrughan. And secondly, I can't see you at all. I mean, I can't see the screen at all. So you'll have to forgive me, I'm talking like a blind person. Before we come to what BJP is going to do, one has to completely condemn, I mean, across all parties, one has to completely condemn the language, the body language, and the content of Prasun Banerjee's speech in a public meeting. It's a public meeting, although they're claiming that it's supposed to be a TMC Karyakarta meet. When the candidate meets the Karyakartas. The words that he has used, he has said that inform the CRPF that Prasun Banerjee has come to play. Khela korte esche, khelte nebeche. Like they've been using these terms of khela hobe throughout the Vidhan Sabha elections. So he's now living up to the track record set by his Supremo, Mamata Banerjee, and her spokesperson, who think it is their birthright to criticize and to use foul language against anything which is central, whether it is CBI, whether it is ED, whether it is now CRPF. 2 days later, you will see they're once again back to accusing Election Commission. That is their trend. As far as BJP is concerned, I think I went on record. I was probably one of the first spokespersons who reacted to the press immediately after the Election Commission's press conference. And I said it very clearly that from BJP, we congratulate the steps that the Election Commission is intending to take. They have very clearly pointed out that the 4 M's, and the most important one of them being money and muscle power. And we really welcome this step, because you see, BJP does not initiate violence ever anywhere, especially during the Election Commission. We want to go to the people and present to the people 3 things: our Neta, which is Narendra Modi, who is enjoying the Tina factor. There is TINA, there is no other alternative. Number 2, our Niyat, which we have already very clearly said that, our intention, whatever we promise, we deliver, we have. And there is a series of other promises coming up. And our niti, our ideology is very clear. We want to serve the people. So there is no question of violence or even us trying to curb any kind of violence, because BJP doesn't go on record saying, yes, there were certain very stray incidents in the Vidhan Sabha. I think a couple of our candidates got carried away, and they did say something. Immediately the Election Commission took action. Party took action against these people. So the party takes action. Your Mansvi Thaparji was saying something very nice, that we don't see the party taking any action on these kind of volatile candidates, if I may say so. They don't. Trinamool is absolutely encouraging it. They're saying he hasn't said anything wrong. That is the way that they are always into accusing CRPF. Here you have a chief minister who accuses the Indian army, of being tolabaj. Why? Because they were doing they have their routine survey. They check vehicles. They at just outside her office, which is on a major toll gate of it's called Vidyasagar Setu in Kolkata. They were doing that, and she saw that from her 14th floor, and she said, there they are, the tolabaj. So this is the track record of Trinamool. You don't expect anything less virile from the Trinamool candidates.
Okay, Ms. Piyush Pant, bringing you back into the conversation, do you feel that there needs to be serious action taken by the party itself against this candidate? Yes, Mr. Pant, go ahead. Okay, I think we've lost that line with Mr. Piyush Pant. But Manasvi, bringing you into the conversation, what action then do you feel can be taken against such candidates? What can one even do? Is it simply enough to condemn? Should we expect an apology from the TMC? Should we expect an apology from the candidate itself? Or there needs to be some sort of harsher punishment for such people? Because today you're seeing it, tomorrow that will turn into some sort of an unfortunate action of violence, perhaps.
See, I feel what will happen will be nothing will happen. Strong action from the point of view of Election Commission setting the tone of teaching such kind of candidates some lesson would not happen. 1. Secondly, TMC taking any action on this particular candidate will not happen. Election is on the political party's head. They would want to garner votes. They would want to make sure that their strong men should not be sidelined, or strong men should be even given more strength. So the idea of strength has changed from winning the hearts of voters to muscle power. So this muscle power, money power, and this kind of narrative is giving them, these kind of people, the force, the energy that nothing is going to happen. And this is the language we should speak. This is the language is what gets them vote. This is the language which is productive and not counterproductive. So that is why no action is going to would be taken against this kind of candidate. So the narrative is wrong on the perspective of our democracy, the mother of democracy, the largest democracy of the world. The kind of candidates which come to parliament are shallow, are not the people we would want to be associated with. On the larger understanding of, if I give you an antidote, in earlier times, people used to say that our daughter should be the likes of Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Morarji Desai, Sarojini Naidu. These are the people we used to admire in our younger days, when people used to say that you should aim for being Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, be Bhagat Singh. These were the politicians of that time, post-independence. Now, the kind of candidates or kind of people we see around, we would not be associated with such kind of, we would not say कि हमारा बच्चा बने XYZ, हमारा बच्चा बने ऐसा, because these are the people not suited for democracy. These are not the people suited for debates. These are not people suited for running a parliament, being in the parliament. So this is the new norm, the law of it. So we have to challenge it. So it has to come. I don't expect the political party should take any action. I expect the people, the voters, should condemn such kind of people. He should be, iski zamanate bhi zabt honi chahiye. He should not even win that election. He should be the last person in the voting category. Only then the uprising. So what political parties suggest, what political parties choose, they choose the ideal candidate as per the voters. So if we voters reject such kind of people, the political parties would be.
Okay, we seem to have lost the line with the Manasvi as well. But Mr. Piyush Pant, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Yes, I'd just like to understand from you, Mr. Pant, leaving the last word with you as I'm running out of time. I just want to understand from you, do you think that there can actually be a day where some stringent action is taken beyond apologies as well? Is that something that the voter then needs to start demanding from political parties, that there is absolutely no place for even such candidates who are threatening an election commission or who are threatening our forces?
Well, I don't see hope in the near future, Devika, because, you know, the voter, I mean, the voter, you know, he, how does he vote? Vote either on the line, on religious line or caste line, something else. He doesn't go how bad the person concerned is, what is his background. Even though Election Commission requires every candidate to put his background, his total assets and all that, cases against them. But even then, you know, a voter doesn't vote on the basis of that. I think the only hope is the Election Commission. If Election Commission, without being selective, punishes all these people right at the very beginning, without being selective, every party, a candidate of every party, at whatever stage, if it takes a strict action, only then I think there is a hope. Otherwise, I don't have any hope, because people who don't like go for nota, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the result of the election, and the people having criminal background,
yes,
they emerge as winners because party backs them up. So this is what is happening, you know. And
Mr. Band, so my apologies for interrupting you, sir. Ajay Rai of the TMC has also joined us at this point in time. Mr. Rai, thank you so much, sir. I have just a few minutes left now, and I'd like to give that time to the TMC. Prasun Banerjee, sir, one of your candidates, has made a bizarre claim at one of his rallies in Malda, where he said that Election Commission must stay within its limit, BSF must stay within limits. What does he mean by that, sir?
The meaning is very simple. He said he said that it should be under the law. The BSF should not come with AK-47 and do the election in West Bengal. It is very clear. It is our state. West Bengal is the safest state, safe state, and we are ruling here. We are the people. We are the team.
How many incidents of violence have been reported, sir, in the past Lok Sabha polls in West Bengal?
If it's
the safest state,
if you see in India, will come from the below level. I must say you, whatever media says, It's about, if you calculate all the thing, if you check all the cities, Kolkata and West Bengal is more safe. I must tell you one thing.
I'm talking about polling, sir. I'm talking about polling. I'm not talking about general safeness. We're not talking about general safeness here. We're talking about political violence.
You can check the record. I can bring up with the record. We are more safe. And election, TMC government is ruling West Bengal. So we want safety. We want our people to be safe. We want no violence here. Why we will create violence? Of course, the opposition will create violence to get seats, to get vote. We are here.
Why does the opposition only do? Why does the opposition only create violence in West Bengal?
Not only in West Bengal. If you see the records, IT today, the news is about all about the IT sector. What they have said. I must tell you that Trinamool government is the most peaceful government, and we are ruling here.
Mr. Ajay, okay.
Come and ask people here. 64. Okay. We give 64 schemes to the people.
Okay, Mr. Ajay, so you claim that West Bengal is not the only politically violent state. Piyush Pant, a senior journalist, is with us on the broadcast. Mr. Pant, would you like to take a moment to perhaps refresh Mr. Rai's memory about the political violence in West Bengal and as to why West Bengal continues to have the tag of a very politically violent state?
Well, West Bengal has a long history of violence, particularly during the time of election, because the cadre, political parties is highly charged, and it is the battle to retain the power and to dislodge from the power. So, and the cadre is trained to do anything which it can do. This has been the experience of various political parties, and we have been watching it since long when left-hand government ruled West Bengal. And what I talked to you earlier, because what is happening for over decades, political parties in power, they have been politicizing the bureaucracy and they are politicizing the police forces. What happens? They serve their masters, and when they come and they get a ticket, they start using such foul language, and the cadre is very much charged, and even they indulge in violence, and all this has been the history of West Bengal.
Okay, Ajay Rai wants to respond.
And one thing more, Devika, because as I talked to you earlier, cadre from various parties, like earlier, what cadre was of the left parties, it shifted to Trinamool. From Trinamool, it has shifted to some part of it has shifted to BJP, because many of Trinamool Congress leaders they have gone to the BJP, so they have taken with themselves all the quarter which they had cadre. So this violence spreads party wise, So it has become a culture in West Bengal. Earlier it was in Bihar also, but it has subsidized a little. But in Bengal it is still the culture of electoral violence is very much there.
Absolutely. Kerala as well happens to be another state. But Ajay Rai wants to respond to that. Ajay Rai.
To give me a minute to speak.
Yes.
See, since 2011, TMC formed government. It is a party that has been formed by the common people. Trinamool Congress is the party that has been voted from the Trinamool Congress, not only from all the people of West Bengal. They want this government to be here. This is the first thing. So violence is all the goons that comes from outside and they create violence in West Bengal. The people of West Bengal, they don't want any violence here.
Absolutely.
Second thing, all the BJP, all the leaders from Trinamool who went to BJP right now, we all know about their history. We all know that they were so many cases, so many allegations are on them, and right now they are in BJP, so they have cleaned themselves, and they are there is no allegations, no problem once you are in BJP. So this is what is happening in West Bengal. All these leaders, firstly, BJP said that they are.
But Ajay Rai, the point is, why would your candidate stand there and tell the election commission what the election commission needs to do?
The candidate just said that please maintain the law. The election should be under the law and rule of the government of India. The candidate just said that the election should not be done with AK-47. The candidate just said that we want peace and we know how to keep peace. That's all. Just check his statement. He clearly mentioned that election commissioners of India, we are supportive. We will support them to work. We want them. We will give them chair to sit. We'll give them food to eat. We'll give them everything they want from us, because we are all the citizen of India. So we will give everything that the election commission want here. We want peace. We don't want any kind of time.
Okay.
Because we know we are winning.
Okay, I'm going to leave the last 30 seconds with Shatrupa, Dr. Shatrupa. I have to wrap up this particular conversation. Dr. Shatrupa, the allegation then here is being made against the centre that it's an attempt to intimidate political leaders and political parties in West Bengal when no other state sees the sort of security that is sent in to their states to hold polls.
It's a lot of nonsense that the TMC spokesperson has spoken, and that is the way these people speak. They think, like I told you at the very beginning, they think it is their birthright to talk about anything which is coming from the central. So they're going to do this, and like you say, it's absolutely evident that they're not at all apologetic about what their candidate has said. In fact, they're encouraging it. And they are going to track back. I mean, what did they think that the CRPF would come with? Toy guns, water pistols. They do come with AK-47. Don't they know that? I mean, they should actually go and look at how how safe the rest of India is. Doesn't it speak volumes of a state run by Trinamool? He's proudly saying that we are the rulers here, we are the rulers here. Doesn't it speak volumes of the kind of ruling that they're doing here, that the Election Commission thought it pertinent to get more forces here than they would get for Kashmir? That is the kind of state that they're running here in West Bengal. It's not just one candidate, it is the whole party who is out to get anything that is central. They don't believe in anything beyond that. They don't believe in a normal vote.
Okay, unfortunately, I have to wrap up this debate, but hopefully, even the TMC says that they claim that their candidate has not said anything wrong. Hopefully, the incidence of violence will be near zero. That's the only hope that we as voters and we as citizens of India can have for our upcoming elections. But perhaps one thing that candidates need to keep in mind going ahead is that whatever you say today is recorded on cameras, so you can't even retract it. And therefore, because you are public figures, public voices, there are several institutions in the nation, including our courts, who time and again keep reminding this to political leaders, to political candidates, to really watch what they say.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.